driver's seat is a 2008 Buick Enclave. Buick been around since 1903. By my math, that's 104 years. I don't know if you know anyone that's 104 years of age, but that's a pretty long time. The heritage is continued in this vehicle. It shares the same Lambda platform with GMC's Acadia and Saturn's Outlook.
104 years is a long time for any company. Now, Buick has gone through several changes in all of those years, but one of them has always stayed consistent. It's a conservative, old-school company, demographically looking at someone a little bit older. Well, that has changed. Buick is reaching into a new grab bag of customers with intuitive designs on the interior and very aggressive looks on the outside. The Enclave, for me, is one of the best new GM products out there. We're going to prove that by looking on the inside, but first, we're going to take a look under the hood.
Buick is a company that's built on solid engineering. It was David Dunbar Buick that came up with the overhead valve system in an engine. And now in this 2008 Buick Enclave, they have the electro-hydro vane phasers, right?
You know what? I love it when Nick does his homework, and it makes my job easy. 275 horsepower and 251 pounds-feet of torque come from that said V6 under the hood, but it doesn't stop there. It drives into a 6-speed automatic transmission with a great little shifter on the shift knob, makes it so you can change gears with your thumb. But really, Buick's not about performance. Though it's there, it has great pickup and great command of the road, it's about the quietness. You're talking about a vehicle that's quieter than any other sport utility out there. On top of that, they actually commissioned Michelin to build them a tire just for this vehicle. It's so quiet, in fact, that the driver can have a whisper quiet conversation with the person on the opposite side in the third row. A true testament that vehicles that are around for 104 years can make it to this point in the industry. One of the best parts about the Buick Enclave is the styling. Now, Buick set apart to make sure this vehicle was not going to be confused with its GMC or Saturn counterparts. When you look at the front end and the styling of the whole vehicle, it starts right here. Sometimes called the Dollar Grin Grill. That dates back all the way to the 50s with this iconic brand from General Motors. And it flows through the rest of the vehicle. The way that this vehicle has set itself apart from any other GM vehicle starts here, but it finishes with Nik in the back.
Here's several things that you'll notice when you look at the Buick Enclave in the design. First of all, the sweeping shoulders and the sweeping hips. The vehicle comes up and over the shoulders, down in the middle, and up and back on the hips. And of course, the vents on the hood, they're very Buick. The actual size of the vehicle is also very noticeable. Get alongside it, you actually look fairly small. Okay, I'm 5'4", Dennis is over 6 foot, but when you get alongside this vehicle, it feels like a big, meaty off-road type of vehicle. Again, we talk about the windows getting increasingly darker down the side. It's well shaped, it's well mannered, and it really does fit the overall form of a Buick.
Moving into the interior of the Buick Enclave is really the biggest surprise of all. Now, that does have some sister vehicles, like I said, the GMC and the Saturn, but it's so much more in the Buick. It is the luxury brand, but it starts not in the front seat, it starts in the back.
Captain seats in the first row and then regular seats in the second row. It's quite roomy on the inside here, and also you have a lot of controls for your heating and those sort of things you'd expect in a classy car like a Buick. Now, it's quite comfortable sitting here in the back. I have plenty of room to move around, and I will say that the inside, the doors are solid and the roof is solid, so the ride is quiet. So Dennis, we've looked all around the outside of the 2008 Buick Enclave. 2 ups and 1 down?
The first one's going to be styling. The exterior of the new Buick Enclave is forward-thinking, and it sets itself apart from anything else in its class. The other up is going to be interior design, a third row that's actually usable for guys our size. My downside is this. The electronics in the vehicle are well sorted and well advanced, but there's little things that team up with that, like the gas gauge and whatnot, that look a little dated when you look at how great the vehicle is as a whole.
Let me tell you about my 2 ups and 1 down. Exterior styling, absolutely incredible. The car stands out in a crowd. It's not something that everybody has, and it's something you can own and be unique about it. But my down, my real down for the inside is exactly the same as you. I think they've done so many refined things on the inside, like making the noise level low, making things solid, well designed. I really adore the interior wood. but then there's a few things missing. Like, for instance, the old GM style clock and that sort of thing inside as far as the digital stuff is concerned. And that to me is really a waste. They sort of got to 98% and seemed to cut off for this vehicle. I still think it's worth owning, and I still think it's an excellent vehicle.
The 2008 Buick Enclave CXL all-wheel drive comes standard with a 3.6-liter V6 and a 6-speed automatic transmission. The base price is $36,255 with an as-tested price of $43,530. City miles per gallon EPA rating is 16 and highway miles per gallon EPA rating is 22.
Here are the guys that make miles around possible. The Russ Auto Group, Baxter Auto Parts, Northside Ford, Ray Reese Dealerships, 4 Wheel Parts Performance Center, Grand Prix Imports, and J. Lee's Auto Group. Thanks, guys.